Maestro,
What's going on, bro?
man, it's so good to see you, brother.
Likewise, man. Likewise,
Well,
man.
I, I am just wow. You know, this is a little different for me. Just getting on here talking to you
Right.
live and letting everybody in on our conversations. We've had so many conversations about life, about politics,
Yep.
about money,
Yep.
about marriage, about children,
Yep.
and then if we can fit it in there, we talk about music.
Right. Yeah. Life always first, man.
Life always first,
Life is
man.
first. It's life first, then
most
music.
most people don't most people don't know you're like a closet theologian. They have no idea the conversations. If they could just be a fly on the wall,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
man.
know.
I talk to God and myself more than I talk to anybody else about this
Sometimes
stuff.
people don't understand that is necessary in
Yep.
order to stay sane
Right.
in today's climate.
Right. Yeah.
Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about the things that God has been doing recently, and decided just to let people in on our world. And I before we even really kind of began to talk about what we're here to talk about, I just want to tell you, bro, like what most people don't know is that you and I are really, really, really close, and in ways that they wouldn't guess, because I think this music thing has gotten so cliche, and so many people just, focus is just all out.
Yeah.
That it really is good to have people around that, to talk to outside of the politics. And
Right.
you've been a confidant, and not only that, but you've actively shown your support. Most people don't know. I've been a sleeping giant for some years now, bro.
Yeah, man. Rip Van
And
Winkle.
I woke up and had gray hairs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that it was you that basically said, "Hey, bro, it's time for you to get up, man. What do we need to do to get you back out?"
Yeah.
And I want you to know I thank you and appreciate God for you on that, man.
Man, I appreciate you. It was a very symbiotic relationship. It was a symbiotic happening, right?
Yeah.
Just the way that it happened was it was so strategic and orchestrated. Neither of us knew that was coming,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
God knew
Yeah.
that it was needed. And I was thinking about this earlier, even today. You are one of the few artists, and I do mean few. I can maybe count them on one hand. I might just need a few fingers, but you're one of the very few artists that has always insisted that I be myself.
Oh, absolutely.
You've never asked me to be anybody else or sound like anybody else. You never sent me nothing. Hey man, can you do something like this? Can you give me something like this? It's never that. It was always you would send it to me and you would go, just do Donyea. And it's always enabled me to approach your music with a larger sense of authenticity and be able to take ownership of the things we work on together. And so producing music with you has always been a step above anything I do for anybody else for that reason.
I have to say, real talk. When I came to you, I knew who I came to.
Mhm.
And that was important to me, that you be you. And I think that's what's made this whole experience more beautiful. The fact that we never came to the table trying to be somebody else. It caused us to be more authentic and to be experimental, which made it like the old days. So most people don't know that we have a little bit more age than, well, if they looked at us,
right.
they looked at us,
Yeah.
they could see that we probably have a little bit more age than some of the other younger guys out there. And one of the things that I missed about the old days was just the fact that you could get different formulas in a room that would come up with a whole different, just something completely new that had never been heard before.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, because everybody just sends their material here or there, and it's just it's not as organic. Everybody approaches it without the synergy that exists from being in the same place,
Absolutely.
And so it's caused the music to come off real mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt that with you though. And we just say, hey, who are you? Bring you to the table.
Right.
And that's always been so exciting, because what most people don't know is that we have experimented with a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's one of the beauties of being a church musician and then playing out there and just experimenting, just through life.
Yeah.
We've tried show tunes and oldies but goodies and top 40s music and jazz.
Yes.
And we sanctified it all.
Right. Holy Ghost did it. Yes.
I thank God that he never took my moves away.
Right.
I could still step. He never took my moves away. I just refocused them and directed everything towards him as a way of praise. And that's what I love about what you've done. Your musical palette is much broader than what most people would ever imagine. They don't know so much about some of the stuff that we've got under our belts, from Disney to all of the other. Oh, that was probably should have been a secret, right?
No, it's not anymore. It was out. It was out.
It was an honor. It was an honor getting the call and working with you on that project, and just all the things that we've done. Many people don't know about all of that stuff, and that's the beauty of getting together with somebody like you, because it's no holds bar,
right?
That's what's exciting, and it inspired me to say, well, maybe we should put some music out.
Yeah, man, it's so, again, symbiotic is the word, because it's a yin yang push pull thing. Like, your music inspires me to produce what I'm producing on your music. You know what I mean? Wow. And in turn, you're like, oh man, it took it to the next level. Well, what you sent me gave me something next level to do. Wow. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but you're right. Stuff come across my desk, and I'm polishing stuff that I don't want to polish. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe we shouldn't go down that road.
Getting the rust off. And everybody does it. Everybody does it. You have to take that and make it better and do this. But when somebody hands you something that's already gold, it enables you. You have to level up. It's like a chef. It's like, I can make you some fried chicken, but then they say elevate it. Well, how you elevate good down home fried chicken? How do you do that? And it makes the chef have to step his game up. He has to come up with something he never came up with before, and keep the sanctity and the foundation of what's there. So that's really what happens with us when we work together. It's like, you give me something, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? But I had to reach further in the bag, and then the stuff that comes out, it's a whole different ball game than with anybody else I've ever worked with. Anybody.
And that it has been. There are some things that I'll send you something one way, and when you send it back to me, I think to myself, oh my, I never saw that one coming.
Right.
And
yeah.
I told you that time we were working on your project, and he was like, oh Lord, we got to stop them. Yeah. Put this out, release this stuff, and I could just hear people saying, oh Lord, we got to stop them.
Oh my gosh.
At this rate, there's no telling what'll come out of that. Oh my, we got to stop them.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my,
man.
But I will tell you, it's been so refreshing, because we've been able to get out of the whole mold. I have been, what most people don't know, for many years now, I've been engineering projects, and I get so many records that come across my desk that are the same song that I just got done mixing.
Yeah.
But it's different artists and different musicians, but it's the same song.
Yeah.
And it's uninspiring. Yeah. We were talking about it not too long ago, and this is nothing about anybody. It's just sometimes it is
just a society that it is right now.
Yeah,
it's just what it is right now.
Yeah. And so we were talking about it not too long ago, just about the fact that hits are paid for.
Yeah.
But good songs
Yes.
are made.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation that most people don't want to talk about.
No.
Because both of us have our Billboard accolades or things that we've done that have been, decent, have gone places.
Mm-hmm.
But finally, I think at this age, we're free from the cookie cutter philosophy and thought process when it comes to doing music.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that it feels good to just be.
Right.
And to express what's in our heart.
Right.
And say, well, we pray that you like it. And if you don't, well, maybe the next song.
Right. Right.
And in all honesty, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. But I think that they're gonna like what we've cooked up here.
Yeah.
So
there's no doubt in my mind. I think about it is for a long time, and it always takes somebody special to put it out as art. The problem is, to me, a lot of us are not putting music out as art.
Right.
We're putting it out as content.
That's the statement that you're making right there.
Yeah. We're not putting it out as art, because a true artist, he's going to paint and he don't care what you think about the painting. This is how I feel. Right. This is what I'm painting, Do
you know, here's the idea. The idea is really simple. An artist is an individual who looks at life and can see the same apple that everybody else sees.
Yeah.
But his perception of the apple has a little bit of a different insight than yours.
Mm-hmm.
And his perception comes out altogether different.
Yeah.
And that is what we place value on.
It's very true.
That artist's interpretation of.
That's what you're paying for right there.
That's what you're paying for.
That's what you're paying for.
And if it's the same as everybody else's perception or perspective, then it's not really art.
Right. Absolutely.
It's just norm.
It's absolutely correct.
An artist takes it and presents it in his own way.
Right.
And somehow we have lost artistry for commercialism.
Yes, it's true.
I think it was you that posted something about that wealth costs you something, or that money. What was it that you posted?
Yeah. I said riches will cost you more than wealth costs you.
Yes.
You end up sacrificing more than you want to for riches, because there's something to it. Everybody's after the bag. Everybody's
after the bag.
Everybody wants to be, there was this thing, especially after 2020, after 2020, everybody decided they were going to be the next black billionaire. I'm a black billionaire, this, that, and the other black. I had a t-shirt that said black billionaire on it. And I remember one day looking at it. It was a fly t-shirt, but then I looked at it and I said, I don't want to wear that no more. You know what I mean? And my conviction was, even millionaires are quiet.
Yeah.
They're not loud. Yeah. Real millionaires, they're quiet. They're not on social media with their money. They're not, it's just about, it's not really about the money to them, most of them. You know what I mean? But we've kind of drank the Kool-Aid of delusion, in the sense that if I get the bag, then that's what validates me, So and
that's what has destroyed.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I determined. I cannot change my sound, dumb myself down, decide I'm going to attack a genre from a different perspective, or chase this radio or that for the sake of getting the bag at the cost of an art that I've been given by God that's priceless. Man, I can't do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Even if somebody offered me billions and billions of dollars to sound like this, the problem is that money is spent, and I still have something to say. And then when it's all said and done, we leave this earth. Nothing we were made or purposed to do gets done because we wanted the bag. So none of yourself is left behind.
TJ, who happens to be my digital marketing guy, phenomenal guy, TJ Miller. Mm-hmm. He gave me a story the other day. We were talking about it, and he was, and he's probably gonna get me for this because I'm probably not gonna tell the story the way he told the story.
Right.
And he's gonna get me with it. But big shout out to TJ. That's my dude. But real talk though. He said it was the story about an old man that was on his deathbed. He had, he was married and he had a child there. So of course his wife and his son, was there, mm-hmm. and he was on his deathbed, and they were there with him to see him take his final breath. And he looked up, and when he looked up, he saw six people standing there, or 6 individuals standing around the bed. And he looked up and he's like, wait a minute, it's more than just my wife and my son here. And he said, who are you? And one of the voices said, I'm the song that you never wrote.
That's it right there.
I'm escorting you out. We're going out. We're dying together.
Man.
He said, and who are you? He said, I'm the book you never wrote. You were supposed to.
Man.
But we're going to die with you. Here.
It's deep.
And you think about that. Like, we have forfeited everything that God has given us just for pennies. My good friend, my best friend, Ron Rainey, passed away last year, and my heart still goes out because
Big Ron.
Yeah. Ron he's one of the reasons why I decided to release this music. Many people don't know, Donyea, this music was done. Yeah. How long ago?
Years, man. Years.
Yes.
Some of it over 20.
We were done with this stuff years ago, by the way, just so you know. You're hearing it for the first time this week, but it was done years ago. We just sat down on it, and Ron said, you make sure you don't let all these people pay you to keep you out of your dreams.
Yeah, buddy.
Pay you to stay out of what God gave you to do. So all of the records I was, producing for other people, and all of the albums that I was mixing for everybody else, and many of them went on the billboards and stuff, I was just paid pennies to keep me away from what God put inside of me to do. And so he said, make sure you don't let people pay you to stay away from what God called you to do.
That's it right there, man.
And I am have come to terms with, and I don't want to sound syrupy or but come to terms with the reality that none of us are going to live forever. Right. And I look, as I was playing the piano before, it was just, I was playing the keyboards, and I was looking at my hands, and suddenly I say, these are not my hands. These are my Father's hands. Right. And I looked at my son the other day, and I said, you stole me. I used to look like that. Right. Now I'm changing and beginning to look older. Yeah. Whatever we're going to do, we better go and do it. When I had to say goodbye to Ron, I realized, I said, man, I thought he was going to live forever.
That's a different resolve, man.
Yeah. I thought he was going to live forever.
A different resolve.
Yeah.
The even bigger resolve is when you see how quickly people move on after they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, people just keep going, and it's like, no, you don't know what this person meant. You don't know what they've contributed. You don't, and because the truth is, then you ask yourself, okay, who do I want to impact while I'm here? Like who matters while I'm here? Yeah. And every time I look at my kids, and my wife, and I look at my true friends and family and stuff, those are the ones that's going to remember. What do you want to leave with them?
That's right.
The people that are paying you to keep you, from your dream, they're going to move on as soon as you pass.
That's right.
They're just going to pay somebody else.
And 9 out of 10 times, they don't really want to hear what you got. They just want you to help them.
I came up with this statement years ago. I said, there are a lot of people who say they want help. They don't want help. They want assistance.
They want assistance. Yeah, I have mixed so many records, and I hate to say this, but like I said, it's more than just it's the same music. But I think, why did he do this way? Why didn't he do this way? Why didn't he change? Why didn't he make this decision? Why didn't they just go this direction? Why didn't they? And then I thought about it, and I said, well, at least they're doing something.
Right.
Hey, like it or not.
Yeah, man.
Maestro, at least they're doing
something I'm not doing.
I'm sitting up here complaining about what they're doing.
They doing something I'm not doing.
Man, this is, man,
Yeah.
and here at least they're doing something. And so I just say, it's time we just do something. And I want to get back to my thanks and appreciation for you, because many people don't know I've given up on the music business and could care less. I dropped that thing like it was the microphone and Obama saying Obama out.
Man.
Done with all the shenanigans and hijinks.
Right.
All of that stuff. But coming to a greater understanding through the things the conversations that you and I have had of our responsibility, I want you to know that I appreciate you. Here's what I'll say about you. This is what I'll say about you that most people, whoever's listening, needs to know, that that I gave up and you came. It's almost like I was that man that was on the point of death, up to death of the dreams and all of the things that God put in me. Just been through life, things have happened. And as I was in that bed and I saw those bodies around me about to go to death with me, you were the brother that walked in the room and said, "Get up." And you didn't just say it, but you said, "What do we need to do to get you up?"
Yeah.
And that's what people don't know. I think that needs to be said. That sometimes we need that brother. And in the Bible, it was 4 brothers that helped that dude with that bed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I didn't need 4. I just needed 1.
Wow. That's deep.
Take me up on that house and put a hole in the house and lower me down up in there. And made me go reevaluate. And not only did you tell me to get up, but you said, "And I'm going to bring the heat and make sure." No, that's the truth, bro. That's the truth. It may seem funny, but tell me I'm lying, Donyea.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm lying.
No, I remember the conversation. I remember we're paraphrasing based on the hindsight of how it happened. Yeah. But the direct conversation I remember from the first song, and I remember when I first did the remix in 2010.
Yeah.
Right.
Changes. Bye to yesterday.
2010. No, matter of fact, it was 2009 or 8. It wasn't 2010. Changes was done by then. It was 2008 or 2009. And I remember Ramon sent it to me, and he was like,
"Big shout out to Ramon Gaston."
Yeah, he was like, "Man, I can't hear nothing but the original. You're gonna have to do it." And I said, "Well, send me the vocals and the tempo. Don't send me nothing else." Mm-hmm. And he sent me that vocals and tempo. I sat there and listened to it, and as I listened to it, I said, "Finally." I finally get to be amazing with somebody that's amazing. I'm finally not having to make something that is less than amazing or make something average sound like it's above average. I get to dig deeper in the bag. I get to actually pull out colors that I wouldn't normally use. You know? I get to abstractify this amazing drawing, you know? And so it's always been that way with you. Whenever you send stuff, now it's like, oh, I get to abstractify this and make this something that it wouldn't be otherwise. It's already amazing. Give me something amazing to do. You know, it's like, sure I can fix a car, but fool around and give me some good tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fool around and give me some quality, you know. Then you start hearing and seeing things different and being able to work with some stuff. And that's where it's always been. And then was that, and then the other songs that followed that. And I remember when I sent it back to Ramon was like, man, what is that? What?
No, I said, what is that?
This is
I was like, I kid you not. I want to say it was Waverly, my brother Waverly Kelly. I want to say he pulled it up. Somebody pulled it up, and I sat there and listened to it, and I just got back and I said, oh my, and the greatest here it is, the greatest compliment that a musician can give to another musician. You know what it is, right?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's stank face, man.
That's stank face, Don. I remember me,
face.
Chris Tompkins, Maurice Ferris. We were sitting up there listening to that, making a stank face, just trying to figure out what in the world just took place.
Yeah.
And we never even met each other at that time.
Nah. No, Ramon was the middleman at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, what are you using? And I was using everything in there, man. I was clanking on boxes and unzipping zippers and sampling them. I was doing anything I could find to go to left field with the joint. And that's
what you did.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. And you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to go back and revisit that song anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
That's just a little plug. All right, we good with that?
Yes, indeed.
So let's talk about what's going to take place this Friday.
Okay.
On this Friday, I am excited about releasing the first time in over 10 years, releasing another song, but it is an old song that I recorded some years ago.
Yeah.
And it was always a hand clap foot stomp song that we used to sing in church, and that people always think to themselves, he didn't write this. He's too young to write something like this. But it was something that we birthed there in Augusta, Georgia, at the Faith Outreach Church with Bishop Richard B. Peoples, my spiritual father. Big shout out. And we sang it there. Miss D used to sing it, and she's gone on to be with the Lord now. God rest her soul. And we used to just have a good time, have church singing it. And I sent it to Mario Smith, Red Smith, my brother. And he redid the lead vocal and sounded like an old man. Now here we are, some young men sounding like an old man.
Yeah.
And I was going to release it. As a matter of fact, I put it out on YouTube with just some pictures of old black church and things like that. And I remember letting you hear it and you saying, I think I got an idea. I'm going to try something with this.
I remember.
And I said, I said to myself, well, that song is done. It doesn't need anything else.
Yeah.
But do you remember what I said to you? I said to you, if it were anybody else, I would say the song is done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
But since it's you, I felt like I was Peter talking to Jesus. I've been out on that water all night long. We ain't catch no fish.
Yes.
But since you're telling me to go out there, I'm going to go out there one more time. Yeah. And so I gave it to you and didn't think anything of it until a few days later.
Yeah.
And when I heard it,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what to think because I didn't see that coming. Yeah, that's all I can say.
It hit me just like it hit you when you heard it. You know, it was I was going another direction, and in the middle of it, it started tracking itself in the direction that it is now.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I just followed the flow of
Just
how
went
it
with
was going. I just let it ride. I just
Yeah.
let it ride. You know,
All I can say is for everybody out there, if you like, House of Prayer, the old New Orleans dirge walk, like at a funeral recession or something like that, the sound of celebration and yeah,
yeah,
but not in a commercial way. This is not the CCM sound. This is not the regular gospel sound. We're not trying to be like everybody else.
not even a little bit.
We're just having a good time and experimenting and just asking God to show us what we've never seen and take us where we've never been before.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to do, God will go with it. Father, have your way with us. And I'm so excited about the direction that you went with it. I don't know if people are going to like
it. I know they're going to like it. There's a lot more of us that feel the way we feel than we know. A lot of us aren't in position to be able to publicly say anything. We are in a blessed position because we have nothing to lose by using our voices to say what needs to be said. We don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean? A lot of us would get fired. Right. A lot of us would get fired. We get put out. We wouldn't be able to. You know what I mean? We lose our endorsements. You know, we would lose our financial backing. You know, but we don't have nothing to lose by sharing our voice.
I want to say this. I want to say this real quick because I know we're about to run out of time. But anybody out there that may be like me, who just stopped believing and just sat down and decided not to do anything, I want to speak life to you right now. That there is still a voice inside of you that God placed in there before the foundations of the earth, and I want to encourage you to allow that voice to come out. Let us know. Let us know who you are. Reach out to us on Facebook or whatever, on Instagram. Just let us know, and so we can pray with you and believe God with you.
Absolutely.
That we can give birth to that voice inside of us that God put in there.
Absolutely.
Just because we're willing to try. I want to hear what I've never heard before.
Right.
I want to see what I've never seen before. And I still believe that there is a voice that God has put inside of somebody out there. And maybe you gave up because you got tired of everything that you've been through and all the ones that told you that you can't do it unless you do it this way. Well, I'll tell you, the devil is a liar.
Absolutely.
We believe God.
Absolutely.
We believe God. And we're going to try to believe God. And we're going to ask you to believe God with us. Donyea?
Yes, sir.
I thank God for you.
I thank God for you too, man. It's ordination, man. It's ordained.
Yeah.
It's not, ain't no accident.
Let me say this. It was Ramon Gaskin that said, you know what, that song you've been had, because I told you this was old. Everybody needs to know this is old. We were done with this some time ago. He said, you need to release that for Black History Month.
Oh, man.
Ramon Gaskin, I got to tell him, thank you for this, brother. That's why we're doing this.
Ramon is another ninja that people...
That's the one right
people
there.
People be sleeping on. He's another ninja.
Drum deucer.
He's another ninja that a lot of people been sleeping on, man. But,
yeah, they've been sleeping on him, but that's all right. He's working too. Yeah. And we all been encouraging one another and believing God. And I just want to tell him thank you for encouraging us to release this. But there's some other things on the horizon. And we're just going to save that for another time.
Absolutely.
This is just for Black History Month.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, because there's more to come.
It's Black History Year.